30 days. 3 AI tools. 1 question. Which one actually makes a difference when you're trying to build something real online? I'm not going to tell you which one has the best marketing. I'm going to tell you which one I actually kept using after the test was over. That's the only answer that matters. Let me start with what I tested and why. Most AI comparisons test things that don't matter. Creative writing prompts, trivia questions, coding challenges. I tested these 3 tools on the exact tasks a beginner building an online business actually needs: writing content, generating ideas, building systems, and producing output that doesn't need to be heavily edited before it's usable. 4 categories. Real tasks. 30 days of daily use. Let's start with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is the tool everyone starts with. It's the name people know. The free tier is genuinely capable, and the interface is clean and approachable for complete beginners. For simple tasks, summarizing content, answering questions, generating basic ideas, ChatGPT performs well. Where it starts to struggle is structured output. When you ask ChatGPT to write a complete email sequence, a detailed product description, or a full video script, the output tends to be generic. It sounds like AI. You can feel the template underneath every response. For content that needs to sound human and specific, which is most content worth publishing, you end up editing more than you expected. GPT-4 with a paid subscription closes this gap significantly. But we're comparing free tiers and real-world usability for beginners, not best-case scenarios. Now Gemini. Google's entry into the AI race has one genuine advantage. It's connected to the internet by default. When you need current information, recent data, or up-to-date research, Gemini pulls it in real time in a way the other 2 tools don't do natively on free tiers. For research tasks, finding recent statistics, summarizing current events, pulling together information on a topic, Gemini is genuinely useful. It integrates cleanly with Google Docs and Google Workspace, which makes it a natural fit if you're already in that ecosystem. Where Gemini falls short is depth. The responses tend to stay surface level. Ask it to write a complete business plan, a long-form article, or a structured content system, and it gives you a starting point rather than a finished output. You get the shape of the answer without the substance. For research and information retrieval, Gemini is strong. For producing content you can actually use, it needs more work from you. Now Claude. Claude is the tool I kept using after the 30 days ended. Here's why. The output quality on structured tasks is consistently higher than the other 2 tools at the free tier. When I asked Claude to write a complete email welcome sequence, it produced 4 emails that sounded human, had a clear narrative arc, and required almost no editing. When I asked it to write a video script, it understood context, tone, and structure in a way that made the output usable immediately. The other thing Claude does better than either competitor is follow complex instructions. When you give Claude a detailed prompt, a specific audience, a specific tone, a specific structure, it executes the whole thing. It doesn't drift halfway through or simplify your request into something more generic. It stays with the brief. For beginners building content, digital products, email sequences, and video scripts, Claude produces the most usable output with the least amount of editing. That is the only metric that matters when you have 2 hours a day to build a business. Here is the honest verdict. Use Gemini when you need current information or research. Use ChatGPT when you want a familiar interface and basic task completion. Use Claude when you need structured, human-sounding output you can actually publish. If you can only pick one, pick Claude. Not because it wins every category, because it wins the category that costs you the most time when it goes wrong: content quality. The free tier is more than enough to start. You do not need to spend money on AI tools to build a real online business. Everything I've built on this channel started with free tiers and a repeatable system. If you want the exact free tool stack I use every day, I put together a free resource with direct links to everything. It's in the description. Grab it and start building today. Subscribe to this channel because every week I test the tools, run the systems, and publish exactly what's working, so you don't have to figure it out from scratch. The next video covers something completely different: how to make money on Etsy with digital downloads using AI. No design experience required and no inventory to manage. That one is worth watching next.